Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the show, child. Let's get into it today. I got a couple of different topics that I want to go through, just some stuff that's on my mind as an entrepreneur. And just some stuff that I'm thinking through. Y'all know I was telling y'all that after conquering cocktails this Saturday, I literally laid down for 2 days because it was one thought on my mind. And I don't know if you can relate to that, but it's just kind of like this thing where it's time to go bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like it's time to go bigger, and it's time to go bigger in a way where like the world is already prepared for me to go bigger. I just need to step into it. Have you ever felt like that before? That's kind of what it's been like for me. So, y'all, I'm just in a season of going bigger. And I'm in a season of where I need to do it with no apologies at all. So, welcome to the show, y'all. I got a couple things that I want to go through, a couple different topics. The first one, and y'all know this is for women business owners, but I want to talk about this concept that was on my mind this morning as I'm thinking about moving into a season of going bigger, and that's this idea that like my self-esteem and the way that I see myself literally affects everything, especially as a woman business owner. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that I see myself affects everything. And we talked about this in the Conquer Club last night. And we also talked about this on the show a couple of times. And Rashana made this statement and it really stuck with us about how faith and fear are the same, right? So it really just depends on what you believe in. So I really trying to, and when I say self-esteem as a business owner, I don't necessarily, for women, seems like the first thing that pops up for us is how we look. But I think it's more like self-esteem with I can be on a different level in the marketplace. You know what I'm saying? Without getting permission and stuff. So I wanted to talk about that and know what you think. And then I want to talk through when we do have some slow times in our business, right? How we can plan our way through those slow times instead of just taking a full on stop. And then we'll also go into kind of the fruit that you're sowing inside of your business. I'm sorry, the seeds that you're sowing, right? The fruit that you bear is only based off those seeds. And then we'll talk about showing up. I want to start with this one first. I think that showing up does matter. Okay. Showing up does matter. I think that it's easy for us to get spoiled in our business. And it's, for me, it's like I'll have seasons where I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Where you'll have a time in your business where you're like, I feel like I done earned my spot. I shouldn't have to do all that. I shouldn't have to make all those posts. I shouldn't have to spend that much time online. I shouldn't have to say that much to people to get them to buy from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it does matter. And it matters not necessarily for, obviously just to get more customers and stuff, but it matters because of the way that everything is evolving. And I've been talking about this and we can get into it, but I think that showing up, and I was saying this in the Conquer Club and I'm going to keep saying it. I think that showing up is the number one thing that's going to build a relationship with your people. And I feel like if you have a strong relationship with your people, then you can do a lot of things that other business owners can't. I'm watching other business owners who I probably never met them before in person, but because of the way that they show up for their audience, like I literally feel like they're my friend. I feel like I know them already. And when you have that type of connection with your audience, and it's been a thing where like even if people don't like, even if they don't comment, they watch. They see. And the way that you do or don't show up is feeding that reputation. You know what I'm saying? So even if you have a business and you don't show up, that's building a culture and reputation for you too. And if you have a business where you do show up, even if people aren't beating down your comments or likes, you're building a reputation with that too. So I think showing up for your business on another level does matter. And I think that when you start showing up on your business, hey y'all, happy Wednesday. I think when you start showing up for your business on another level, people respond very differently. which is why we hear a lot about this saying of people saying, well, people don't support you until you're popular. Well, duh. Right? Having a business and starting to show up on social media page, you don't get a participation trophy for that. So yes, we will only start to show up for you once you're popular and once you're popping and once you got your thing going. That's just how it works. Right? You don't get a participation trophy because you can post content 5 days in a row. We don't care about that. And the reality underneath that is, hey, we see how hard you've been going, how much noise you've been making, even when people weren't clapping. We see how much you believe in your idea. So after we see all that, now we rock with you. That's just the way it goes. That's the relationship. That's how the relationship is built. Okay. So we can't get upset that people don't support us because we're not popular. Go get popular first. Okay. So showing up does matter. Showing up, even when you seem to be starting off at the bottom, matters. It matters big time. Okay. So happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the show. I don't know why I feel like I'm so anxious to get into my work today. I feel like I'm rushing through the show, but I need to slow down so I can spend time with y'all today. I just took a day off on Monday, and child, I was in the bed. Child, I got hooked on this little cartoon show on Netflix that I've been watching and stuff, but I have to do this show, but I've got my other screen over here with all of my work set out for today. So that's what I keep looking at over there. So, but happy Wednesday, y'all. Again, we just want to do this just so you can keep your mental together day to day as you're conquering, right? And really understanding that you don't have to be perfect every day, but the day to day when nobody can see you, when nobody's slapping your hand because you didn't do anything, those are the days that matter. Okay. So going day after day after day after day after day and chilling just because nobody's going to say anything to you, that is the fastest way for you to be disconnected and lose your business. Okay. And especially for those of us who really want to make the transition away from our day job, right? So some of us have a day job, and because of that security, we don't go hard at our business because we think, oh, well, once I quit my job, I'm gonna have so much time. I'm really gonna go hard then. Like whatever you're doing right now alongside that job is just gonna be magnified later. So if you take breaks often because you don't feel it, or you take breaks often and you don't grow the business, it's going to be magnified times 10 once your job is not in the picture. Okay? That's like saying I'm not going to go to practice, but when the game come, I'm going to know how to do it. I've been thinking about it. That's just not how it works, right? You've got to exercise that muscle. Okay? So, self-esteem is currency. Oh my goodness. You know, as a woman, when I think about self-esteem, the first thing that pops up for me is looks. And I do think that having a little look is tea. I'm not gonna lie. But I think that there's a deeper thing here when we talk about self-esteem being currency and making sure that we really understand. And I was even having this talk with myself this morning when I was journaling out my notes and stuff. Child, I'll tear a notebook up with notes. I was really thinking about how you ever had a season like when you really lean into your business, like it just multiplies. And then when you lean out, it's like crickets. It's like, dang, do they even remember me? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I even know what to say? This is why I stress so much. I stress so much making sure that if we have to lean out for our business, we put a very quick expiration date on it and we get back to it. Because leaning out for long periods of time can be detrimental to the way that you flow with your audience, what you think about your audience, what you think about your business, you know what I'm saying? What you think about socials, all of that. And even for me, there have been times where my audience was waiting on me to show up, but I'm over here overthinking it so much because I've been out of it for so long. I can't even jump back in. And child, they got the debit card in hand. So just the way that this is why I love conquering, this is why I love the mission. Because you've got to walk the path like to build up the self-esteem doesn't come from the fact that you know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it's often scary to put yourself out there, because you obviously have to face rejection, you have to face trolls, you have to face all of those things, right? All of us, it comes to all of us. But I think that it has to be such a deep belief in self where it's like, okay, I know that that's going to come, but I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to post something and nobody's going to really get it right now, but I'm just starting out. So it's okay. I know that I'm going to go live and a lot of people aren't going to tap in, but that's okay. I'm just starting out. Like, I trust that I'm going to be okay. Like, to me, that's self-esteem. To me, the self-esteem is, okay, I'm going to really put this offer together and put it out there. And if somebody trolls it in the comments, then I will be okay. Like, to me, that's self-esteem. To me, self-esteem isn't, I'm going to make myself up so perfect so that when I put it out there, nobody's going to dislike it. I don't think that's self-esteem. I think self-esteem is, baby, it is what it is. I'm going to put it out there. I know whatever type of force is going to try to swing at it, but I will be okay. I will be okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way that I'm thinking about it. And I was even thinking about that for myself and my business today, child. I'm so ready to work today. I'm so ready to work. So ready to work. So ready to work. So I wanted to talk about another thing too, which happy Wednesday, y'all. I don't know if you're just joining in or scrolling by. She says, hi, hey, y'all. I don't know if you're just tapping in and scrolling by, but I wanted to talk about also when we kind of have some slow seasons. Although I got to make a note right quick because I'm getting some clarity. Okay, I'm just getting some clarity right quick about the show. I'm getting an idea. I also want to talk about this idea of when you feel like your business isn't moving fast. Sometimes we think that that's a signal to stop when really that is a signal to go deeper. Um, I think that I've had this happen so many times to me, and I've had this happen to so many ladies that I know, so many people that I know, and business owners that I know, that when we have a period in business that seems slow, instead of leaning in closer, we lean away, because we think that leaning away is what going to give us the clarity, but sometimes it's leaning in that gives us the most clarity. And I'll give you an example. So I talk to a lot of ladies that they want to do things with their audience. They feel like the offer isn't hidden. They really don't know what their audience is thinking. They really don't know what their audience's pain point and solutions are and stuff like that. And my advice to them is go spend time with them. Go plan 6 webinars. Go plan 3 masterminds. Go plan 4 Zoom calls. Go live with them. Like, instead of leaning out and stressing out Chat GPT and going back over your notes and listening to courses 50 million times, I say go spend time with your people. They're going to tell you exactly what they want, exactly what they need. They're going to all ask the same questions, and it's going to give you more clarity than you ever can have sitting alone by yourself trying to think it through. So I think this is so good. If you feel like the business is slow, go lean into the customers. Like, seriously, don't go sit and hide with a notebook trying to come up with a perfect strategy when you have a cell phone or a Zoom link and you can say, hey, I just want to hang out. Like, whatever it is that you want to curate, simple or complex, and go spend time with your people, spend time with your customers. Such a good way for you to be able to connect. Okay. Planning through your seasons that feel slow instead of completely stopping. Right. So I feel like if your business is super slow, that's the number one reason you should be on live every day. Why? You'll be like, oh, y'all want to know about that? You'll be like, oh, I thought y'all knew that. Like, no, your customers want the basics. They want to see you. They want to hear it over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so excited about work today. I just feel like, You know, when you ever go to it's one thing in your business to like do stuff online, and then it's different when you start going to like stuff in person. I feel like me doing Conquering Cocktails in person this Saturday, like it just changed the game for me. You know, when you get in person, you be like, oh, okay, yeah, actually, I am a business owner. Y'all do be like, we do be out here like I am doing this. You know, it's just, it hits so different in person. And so I feel like when me doing Conquering Cocktails Saturday, like, it shifted something in me. And I was like, oh, I'm tripping. I ain't been moving like no big dog at all, like on no level. I haven't been moving like a big dog. And I really had to sit with that and think about it. And then just, you know, think about how I wanted to, how I really want to lean into that for the next couple of weeks and see. Yeah. So I've been thinking about it. I truly have for sure. But yes, child. I want to go through some notes also from the Conquer Club that we have, because I feel like if some of the ladies there are thinking about these things, then maybe some of the people who watch the show. So if you watch the show, consider yourself in our community. We do the live show, we have the podcast, we have the free Facebook group. Consider yourself in our community. But the Conquer Club, we actually meet every Tuesday night, and that one is more business focused. So that's accountability, those are strategy calls, those are confidence boosters, and you get to share your wins, get to share what you're struggling with. So we do that inside the Conquer Club. And of course, we have an online portal where you can log in and see business resources, tools, and tips and stuff like that. So one of the things that we kind of talked about yesterday was this idea around like routines and stuff that you should do inside of your business. I think I'm gonna probably do a live show or episode really breaking it down, some of the stuff that you can do and maybe should do and want to do inside your business. Because I've talked about this a couple of times where I feel like if you have a business and every month you're starting over like with routines and processes, then it's a good idea for you to hear our framework on it so that you can start incorporating that. Okay. So but that's it, y'all. I'm so excited to get to work. I have to run to the store. I really should have did a longer show, but I was on TikTok live last night too. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok, because I have started going live there more often too, even when I'm not doing the show. But I'm so excited about working. Today we're going to be doing a lot of prospecting. I have a list of 131 leads that we're working through right now. I've got to do some more prospecting and get that list to 350. And then me and my assistant are going to knock out reaching out to these 350 leads by Saturday. So I'm so excited to do that. I have a nice list of women who I think will really be able to benefit from Conquer and all of the stuff that we're building. Um, yeah, so it's exciting. I'm also going to be working on planning a virtual conference for July 9th and 10th, which is going to be exciting. We'll be doing an in-person seminar on July 24th here in DeSoto, Texas. And then also I'll be doing a podcast taping on July the 11th, which is really cool. And then there was something else on my calendar too. Oh, we'll be running back Conquering Cocktails too at the end of July. So July, we're gonna be popping. I think this is gonna be the first month in a long time where I had that much stuff going on. But again, it's just kind of like what I was talking about here when I talked about this idea of the fruit that you sow when nobody is watching. And it'll literally make me tear up when I start talking about it. Because um it's so much that you have to do when nobody's watching in order for you to win in front of everybody. And I think if you don't hear me say anything else, you have to hear me say that. The stuff that you do when nobody's watching, when nobody cares, when nobody's holding you accountable to it, when you don't know if you're doing right, that is the perfect recipe for you to win in front of everybody. For it to look like an overnight success, for it to look like, oh man, you could just do that stuff with your eyes closed. It's the stuff that you do when nobody's watching. It's the times that you show up when you don't want to. It's the times that you go live when you don't want to. It's the times that you post when you feel like nobody is paying attention. All of that stuff compounds. It compounds. It's literally like going out into your garden and dropping a seed in it. Your plants of dreams. When you get up and nobody's watching you walk out your front door, do you get up and walk out your front door and take that seed and plant it for your plants of dreams? This is why we cannot go days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks without planting that seed. Because not only does the fruit not grow, the fruit doesn't bear, but also you lose the repetition and the discipline of going out and planting that seed and nurturing that plant and seeing what's wrong with it. This is why the days where nobody's watching you, the days where it seems like nobody cares, those are the only days that matter. You don't get to the days where the plant is big and fruitful and healthy if you didn't get up and go tend to the garden every day. You can't wait for the plant to grow and be enormous if you only want to do it if it's a crowd standing around clapping. You don't get to go from 0 to chapter 600 overnight. That is not how this works. So the reality of all of us, me included, right? The reality of the business that we have today, the business you have today, the social media following you have today, the amount of content you have today, the customers, everything is 100% a direct result of your effort and nothing else. Maybe you popped off quick. You were naturally good at content. You popped off in 2 months. Maybe it's been 20 years and nothing still has popped off. And this is also another thing that we have to make sure as entrepreneurs, everything is our fault. Okay. There is no reason to sit around and think about, Iran and Trump and Tyler Perry straw and Cardi B album. Like that's 100% irrelevant. The algorithm, like all of that is irrelevant. Everything is 100% on us. 100% on us getting up and getting to it. And yes, it is a hustle. It is a mean hustle, baby. But if you're built for it, then you go through it, no problem. And it is what it is. Okay? But it is a random Wednesday. The stuff that you don't do today, that matters. And we notice. We notice. When you think nobody's watching, we are. We notice when you don't show up. We notice that you don't care to go live. We notice that you don't care to do much other than just kind of post every now and then. We see it. We see it. We see it. We see you. It's a random Wednesday. What are you going to conquer today? What are you going to do to move the needle? What are you going to do to be great? What are you going to do to go get ahead of your competition? What are you going to do to go pull your audience in closer? What are you going to do to go after an opportunity in your community? What are you going to do to put out another piece of content that could pop off? What are you going to do to go build relationships with people who inquired in the past? Like, what are you going to conquer to go make it happen? Or are you going to shy away and be lazy and weird on this random Wednesday and not do a thing, even though you're so capable of it? Okay. Now, y'all know we talk about days of rest and seasons of rest, and we ain't mad at rest. We ain't mad at that at all, but put a little expiration date on it. I rest Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday morning, I'm going to do this. Okay. You got it, friend. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. For real. You got it. So happy Wednesday. I hope that you can really take that to you with you. Ooh, I'm rubbing on my elbow. My elbow is crunchy. After I took a shower, my elbow is crunchy, girl. Yes, you can do that today on this amazing Wednesday. I'm going to be working on this list today. So even as I do this, just thinking about growing my own business and how I can get more aggressive with it. Like, I got to get super aggressive with growing my business in this season. I feel like when I first started my business, like I was crazy aggressive with growing it. And it's been growing, but I feel like it can grow much faster. Conquer can grow much faster than I'm giving it credit for. And even as I was working this morning, it clicked. I was like, oh, okay, this is how we can kind of 3 times the business a little bit. So I'm working on that and I'm super excited about it. But that profile now. I wonder why these profile not opening. Huh. Let me look and see. It's showing, huh? Okay. I'll just archive this. I'm so excited about working today, y'all. We getting into it, but I think I'm gonna stay on. No, I'm actually not. I was gonna say I was gonna stay on TikTok Live for a little bit because I am on TikTok Live. And hey, cousin, and I try to stay on for a little bit sometimes when I'm working, but I gotta go to the store. But I can come back on TikTok Live later on as I kind of work through this plan that I have to 3 times my business and talk through some of the stuff that I'm doing, some of the stuff that I have my assistant do it, kind of how I have it organized behind the scenes because it is incredibly organized. Y'all know I talk about this concept a lot about making sure that your business has some type of home. You know, like when you work your 9 to 5, when you get to work, there's somewhere where you can log in and see what's going on, where the customers are, where a to-do list is, or something. There's some type of dashboard or something to, or system or whatever to log into. And I think it is so imperative for you to have something like that for your business. So I created mine with Monday. When I get up in the morning, it is the very first tab that I open. I don't go to socials or emails or anything. I go here and look at who are our customers, who are potential customers, who are past customers, who wants to buy, who's not interested in buying, who's been rocking with us for a long time, who needs a nudge, who came to an event we had in person, who came to a virtual event we have. And I use that kind of as a guide, you know what I'm saying, for us to be able to navigate through closing deals and stuff like that. But again, I'm working on ways to kind of like 3 times the business. Like the business is growing in so many different ways, but I need that money. I need that money in my hand. So I'm working on that. So I can go back on TikTok Live later on. I gotta go to the store though. I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. I really do. Ugh. Yep, I gotta get this stuff knocked out too. And then I gotta plan out some content. Which for my content, the content that's been performing the best for me has been content that I'm just like dumping from my camera roll. Go figure. So I'm gonna dump some more content from my camera roll, stuff that I did earlier this year, last year, year before last. I just kind of dump it, tell really good stories, give really good tips, and the content has been doing really good. So I'm gonna do that also. I'm gonna dump a whole bunch of content out of my phone, schedule it, and then we'll work through these prospects. And then next week I'll start working on the conference, and we'll get that together. And girl, we're gonna be out here moving. I'll be speaking here in Dallas next month. I'll be hosting another Conquering Cocktails in Dallas next month. We'll be doing a podcast here in Dallas next month, so that's gonna be cool. And then also, yeah, yeah. So we'll be doing our thing this July. It's exciting, child. It's exciting. So, but happy Wednesday. I'm running off. I did drop a YouTube video last night. So if you want some 5-minute masterminds on getting your biggest business organized, about creating emails, I'm walking through all that stuff. Also, like sales calls and stuff like that. I'm working through all of that stuff step by step where I'm showing my screen, sharing my framework. All of that stuff is on my YouTube channel at Conquer with Deb. You can go through and binge watch so many lessons and videos and courses that I have. I also need to post them here so that y'all know. But there's a lot of good information on the YouTube channel. And then you can also go to Apple Podcasts and download the podcast because there should be a couple of 5-minute masterminds on there too that you can listen to if you want some stuff that you can implement right away inside your business. Okay. But all right, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow with the show. I hope y'all have an amazing day. I hope this makes you think about what it is that you want to conquer inside your business. And really thinking about how you see yourself. Okay. Think about the way that you see yourself, the way that you see your business. Um, One of the ladies in the Conquer Club recommended this amazing book, The Psychology of Selling, and I've been listening to it. I'm an hour in, it's 6 hours. So I know I'll be able to finish the book by like tonight or tomorrow because it's an audio book. And I just listen to business training all day anyway. So I know I'll be able to finish the book. But he really is diving into this concept that's really sticking with me about it's only about how you see yourself. If you see yourself as just like a side street hustler who can only make a few dollars, then that's what it'll be. But if you see yourself big time, and not just seeing yourself big time, but moving like you big time, moving like you're a big dog, then things start to work differently for you. So they really shifted my mind. So I'm ready to dive in. So I'm about to run to the store real quick. I got to run a little errand, and I'm coming right back. And I'm diving into my business, working on 3 times and what I got going on. And that's it. So if you're in Dallas, we'll be back for Conquering Cocktails again in July. I got to call the venue and see if they can accommodate us again. And then again, we'll be having a seminar here on July 24th. We'll be doing Conquering Cocktails on July 26th. We'll also be doing a virtual business conference on July 9th and July 10th. So that's going to be all exciting. So ladies, if you're ready to learn, ready to network, ready to get plugged in, then we're going to have so many opportunities for you for the month of July. So y'all stay tuned, but y'all already know the vibes. When you wake up tomorrow, make sure you conquer something, friend, and I'll see you tomorrow on the show, girl. Bye, ladies.
Me, the Conquer Club is a sisterhood. I didn't know a lot of these ladies. I have truly made connections, real friendships, bonds. I've cried with these ladies. It elevated my business so much, just putting a foot on the gas and stomping on necks, like literally. I'm really proud to be a part of this space, and I think this is what entrepreneurs need.